All right, how's everyone out there in YouTube land? Give me a second, guys. I got to get over to Biker News Canada Facebook group so that we're live in those two places at the same time because that's what I like to be. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I got on the Facebook. We're live over there. Now, give me another second because I really didn't sit down prepared today. Some days I'm prepared, some days not so much. And I want to get all this stuff on the TikTok because before we get into the Wednesday rides, I want to talk about a little ongoing saga that we're having up here in Canada with different motorcycle clubs, etc., etc. And I'm going to be the first to admit this stuff isn't really our business, but it's been brought out onto the digital world, which makes it our business in a way because once it's out in the public, it's for public consumption, and the public can do whatever they want with it. Stefano, I haven't seen you for a few videos, bro. I thought you left me. Good to see you, brother. I appreciate you being here always, bro. Always, I appreciate your showing up for my shows. So, and we got a few others watching as well. So, anyways, I was watching Black Dragon Biker TV this morning. I'll put a link in the description after the show. I'm going to get TikTok rolling so they can hear it too. All right, everyone out there in TikTok world, how are you? Bob's back, Biker News Canada. We're going to do Wednesdays, weekly rides, and bike nights. But before that, we're going to go and check in on an ongoing saga involving the Satans Choice Motorcycle Club. So let's just get that up there right now. And like I say, I was watching Black Dragon Biker TV this morning, and last Friday he had me on as a guest. I gave him a bit of the history of the Satan's Choice that I knew, never being a member, just stuff I know and stuff I knew from being in the 1% world at the same time that they were still a club, an active club and stuff. And then we talked about Bernie's son Harley. He's going to bring the club back, and he left the 81. And he had some personal issues with a couple of the guys on in his own chapter. So he's trying not to disrespect the club as a whole. He said that's how he puts it. And he's got beef with two guys, and he's called them out to handle it with fists, and they don't want to come, et cetera, et cetera. So then this morning we got a woman on here, and she's allegedly known him since he was a child. And she said some outrageous shit about him.
For a guy to be all on the internet, making videos and stuff, it's crazy. And this whole thing seems to be a little bit out of sorts. We're trying to wonder, is this new school? Is this what the young kids are doing? What's going on? Is this going to be a war? You know, everybody's looking. Everybody's like, what is going on here? But what we do know is that...
And another thing to keep in mind, I'm trying to get Harley on my channel for a live interview. We'll see if we can get it to happen. Thanks, Stefano. And all that. So I'm trying to remember this lady's name.
It is definitely seems out of order or out of sorts. But we were musing like, okay, well, if his father turned this over to him, and his father gave the blessing, then this is a good thing. One of the things we were musing, and we were musing that, maybe he was born to do this. I mean, we're looking at him in his colors from the time he was a child, which you've known him since he was a child. Yeah. And so all of these things we were musing, and you were like, no, Black Dragon. So here we are. We have you on. And so introduce.
She's calling herself Tasha. And like you say, her thoughts on Harley are definitely not my thoughts. So what I've seen of the guy, I like him. So, and I've spoke to him over messages and stuff. I like the guy, and I'm hoping he comes on for an interview. And I just wanted to show this because this is going to turn out to be something like those Twin Outlaws or some stupid.
Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and how you know him and some of the things you'd like to say this morning. And thank you for being on the show.
Of course. My name is Tasha Lavender. I've been a chef for 25 years. I also have a background with natural medicines and stuff.
Chuck.
I've known Harley most of my life since we were probably like 6 years old, that I can remember.
Thank you, Glenn.
We grew up together. My mom used to babysit him. My grandfather actually helped orchestrate Bernie getting custody of Harley when he was a child from his mother. We grew up together. Around our teenage years, he kind of went astray with thinking he was a thug. And that's when things started to go downhill. But our whole town kind of wanted Harley to be like the prodigal child or the golden child that came back and did good for himself and his life. And he's just kind of dropped the ball.
See, so that's what she's saying now. All the posts I've seen Harley post up, he's got a business running. He's got an MMA gym going in. He's a boxer guy. He's done a long pen bit, and that's his business. I've never spoke to him about that yet. And Claire says, this chick sounded like she had a personal axe to grind against the guy doing the interview today. I agree, Claire. And remember, and we'll, I don't know if we're going to play it all the way and where Lavish gets on her, but Lavish brought her back around in the real.
Ever since his ego's getting out of control. The ones have all but left the scene.
I've never heard.
Everybody's gone. Nobody wants anything to do with him because of how he's behaving.
What are the ones? What does that mean?
The ones are the ones who started when we were in our teens and we started picking our colors, essentially.
And she's talking like she was in the motorcycle club, and as a 1%er, a past 1%er, whatever the hell I am, a guy who was a 1%er. We all know you don't have ladies patched up. It's not part of
we were the ones who were doing the damage on the street. We were the ones who were essentially running the streets. Wow. Yeah, it wasn't Harley with a baseball bat. I can assure you of that. And the truth of the matter is vast majority of the people that were the ones that he's based his whole brand and label off of have all but left his vicinity because of how unbecoming he is being online. And just dragging down different organizations, whether they're the health.
So Claire has a question. This chick can't even be old enough to be around when Satan's Choice started because they are a really old school club from the 60s. So the only way that she could have been around, she definitely wasn't around when it started, but she looks to be kind of sort of in the same age range as Harley himself. So she would have been around and came up at the same time he came up, maybe.
Hells Angels or the Outlaws. Over the past 20 years, I've seen nothing but patchovers and disloyalties from every angle.
So you're
a lot of finger pointing. Nobody's out there with bare knuckle brawling. This ain't the 60s, sweetheart. This ain't how it's going anymore. And they don't seem to realize that. It's like watching Days of Our Lives online.
But she got right into
a lot of folks. So you come from MC Colt. I mean, you were.
I grew up on the back of a bike. My mom has been written about in some of these books. Like it's not hard to figure out my last name. My grandfather was a justice of the peace in Oshawa during the heyday. He was also a police officer. So I saw both sides. I kind of understand.
So there's one that doesn't make sense either. She's claiming that she was all involved with the Satan's Choice Motorcycle Club, and back then they were an outlaw motorcycle club. And then in the next breath, one of her family members is a cop and a judge. So I can't square any of these circles. Mike Ball, it came from this morning on Black Dragon, bro. That's why I'm putting it back up, or pieces of it. It was kind of a shit show.
Understood a lot more than the average kid growing up because I was closely tied in, and you see a lot growing up.
Wow. So you come from were you around the Satan's Choice when they were?
Yeah, my godfather, he was a sergeant of arms. I think at one point he was president or doing something, I used to go drop off Girl Guide cookies to them. Like, here you go, guys, give me my money.
Wow. Wow. So you
knock on their big old door. I never had any fear of them. They were like uncles to me growing up. So then when I see him acting and behaving the way he is, the guys that he's speaking on are the people that I grew up with, and the majority of them are shaking their head right now, because what we're seeing is drug fueled, egotistical. He's in his hurt, you know.
See, and that ain't right either. Every video, and you can just go find Bernie or Harley Gwendon on Facebook. He's got his own channel. He's got tons of followers, and he's not high in his videos. Like, she's just talking shit, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I don't know who she's going to say some more.
No, he's not in any way, shape, or form doing any kind of healing, and he's bringing that to the streets, which is doing nothing but causing more problems.
Wow.
And nothing's happened in
way
in Oshawa. Nothing's happened down there that I'm aware of. It would have been all over the news up here, and there hasn't been a thing. Maybe some minor scuffles. I think there's only been words online, and Harley himself has called out the two members. He's got two members. Again, I've said it before. Two guys he's got beef with, and he's the guy who puts out their names and all that. And in his videos, he says he's called them out to have to clear it up, and they won't come. So this is a way he's using to flesh him out, to either come out there, take the lumps, win, lose, or draw. At least you showed up, and that's how it goes in the biker world.
Sir, your question, Physique, the reason that we're talking about it is that he put it out on social media himself. We've watched a lot of his social media, so that's why we're talking about it. He put it out there. He put it out there where he was cutting off the patches off the motorcycle and all that kind of disrespectful shit that you're not supposed to do. So that's why it's a story. And Biker News Canada is working on getting an interview with him, and we'd love to hear it from his mouth, which maybe he'll.
So Jay, not to take sides, but anyone who leaves that club is out bad. They don't have a retirement thing in Canada, and that's just what I've been told by other ex-members from that club. That's only what I've been told. But hey, man, you could be right. You could be right, Jay. I'm not saying you're wrong. Tell you my age, I was born in 73. Yeah, I was born in 67. I'm a 60s baby myself. And yeah, and out west, they didn't have Satan's Choice. I don't think Satan's Choice left the province, except for to go into Quebec a little bit. Okay, I want to show.
Not a lot of 1%ers will talk, but if you're doing your own internet shows and stuff like that, maybe he'll come on here and we'll get it straight from the horse's mouth. So absolutely, we do that here. He's
doing a lot of talking already, so I'm sure he's not shy of doing more.
So one Archie Pixel says, yes. So then according to her,
I have been in talks with him personally, and I'm going to try to get him on, and Black Dragon's going to come on with me as well, so we can get the word out there. Black Dragon's got 200 and some thousand subs. Couldn't get his patch back, so he cried like a girl and started a club with a patch. No, he left on his own 2 feet to care for his dad who has dementia. Yeah, and so you see, so that's all been said in his videos, that he left on his own 2 feet to take care of his dad, and there was a video of him taking care of his dad who had dementia. It's a shame because Bernie was a beast of a man, but hey, man, we all get old, and then that's part of getting old, right? And prayers to Bernie sort of thing. And so he left the club to take care of his dad. And then according to him, and again, I'm just going by what he says in his videos, when he came to come back, there was 2 members that blocked his return. And that's what led to him starting it up and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, we kind of got the same info, Jay. And you may know more than me, Jay. I don't know. Obviously I don't know you and I don't know where you are, but you may know more than me, brother. So I'm not trying to argue with you, just so you know that.
Satan's Choice is her grandfather, and her dad was a police officer, pastor. Did you just say that? I didn't hear you say that. Did you say that?
Pardon me?
Yeah.
My grandfather was a police officer for the Durham Regional Police, and he was a justice of the peace. He was also in the Navy.
And was he part of Satan's Choice of some kind of way or something?
No. He worked with the Satan's Choice from like the 70s.
So that is a bad statement. He worked with the Satan's Choice, and she just said in the sentence before, the man was a cop. You can't say a cop's working with a club. It makes the whole club sound like they were doing something left-handed.
80s, 90s, all throughout those years, they were always working together.
What were they doing?
You know, what is that?
You know what? I was pretty young, so I can't give you details. And I mean, those are federal charges, so I'm not going to say too much.
Right.
I'm still stuck on, and I'm all about symbolism and you know, stuff we did back in New York and
together.
everything.
My mind is still stuck on working together.
Here's what happened. Yeah.
It
should be a hot potato, Mike.
I
really hope I get Harley on for an interview.
He was a police officer working together.
That happens.
The way we were
growing up, I can remember my grandfather and Bernie sitting at the same table sipping on tea at my house. My mom was like I guess you could say the conduit, you know, she was the in-between.
Wow. That's a lot. We're not.
Hear that?
There you go, boys.
Did you hear that? She said that you would see in the mornings a cop and an outlaw biker sitting at her mom's table.
No, he worked with the Satan's Choice from like the 70s, 80s, 90s, all throughout those years. They were always working together.
What were they doing?
You know what? I was pretty young, so I can't give you details. And I mean, those are federal charges, so I'm not going to say too much.
Right.
I'm still stuck on, and I'm all about symbolism and you know, stuff we did back in New York and
together.
everything.
My mind is still stuck on working together. You know,
well,
certain stuff with me. I'm sitting there like, oh, he wasn't part of the club. He was a police officer working together.
That happens.
You know, growing up, I can remember my grandfather and Bernie sitting at the same table sipping on tea.
So my grandfather sitting at the same table sipping on tea with the leader of an Outlaw 1% motorcycle club. You know, and it's too bad Dragon didn't vet this girl a little bit better. Claire, I agree with you. The chick ate too many of the funny mushrooms that she grew in her backyard. I'm with you on that one. Mike, I'm with you with that one too. Another woman speaking out of her ass on Men's Business. And Ghost Eagle, that one's 100% too. They never work with law enforcement. They don't care for them. They just don't. Okay, where are we? Because she gets a little bit crazy in here when she's talking about the reasons why
at my house
Harley went to jail.
My mom was like I guess you could say the conduit, you know, she was the in-between.
Wow. That's a lot. We're not.
There you go, boys.
Let me ask a question.
Me too, Karen.
Lavish and Black Dragon and all the other outlaws or MCs out there that may be listening. When you hear that there's an outlaw motorcycle club working with police department, working with the police, does it always have to mean that they're snitches and stuff like that? Does it always have to mean that? Why?
No, not at all. I mean, in some situations, they're outing pedophiles. You know, in some situations, they're outing people that are killing your daughters and raping them. So
that bullshit she just said there, and I agree with you, Ghost Eagle. I got sick of listening to her this morning, but I had to watch. It's like looking at a train crash as you're driving by. You have to look, right? Hey, can you close that door? I'm live on and where I like funny cacti. Oh, you like the peyote buttons? I've never tried them ones yet. And again, this is only. Oh, that's a good point, Mike. It is only entertainment. No, nobody can, like Dragon can't know what the person is going to say before.
So are they doing a bad thing by working with the police? I don't think so. They're working together to build the community. And you're going to have people that look at bikers as being the badass guys that take care of that kind of shit. And then you're going to have the people that look at the police as being those people that handle those matters, right? And it's always been a war, but underneath it all, they've always worked together. And that's the truth of the matter.
Wow.
In my opinion, like growing up in it, seeing it my whole life.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I've seen it a lot. I see it all the time.
Or am I?
So did you hear that when she said?
Yeah, your mic's working. Say something.
Just making sure. Yeah. So it's more wordplay. It's more wordplay with me, man, because
Lavish is mad at this
I listen to everything the way that something is worded very carefully, only because that's just the way I'm designed. So when I hear working, the police, working, no, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Working how? If I say, hey, the police, we working with the police to keep traffic down. I'm letting it be known, hey, we working to keep traffic down. That's it.
Well, you have to especially be careful because you are a cop, according to.
Oh Lord. But see,
according to Flames,
when you have large
flamethrowers are
runs, when motorcycle clubs are out there doing these large runs, aren't there police out there escorting them?
No.
Sometimes.
Back in the 90s, it used to be the clubs back in my.
And that's just something Logic was asking because he doesn't know. In my experience, the cops have never blocked anything for a 1% club doing a run. Ever.
My hometown, our club, the Choice, used to block off the streets if there was any kind of procession going through, whether it was a funeral or a wedding. It was always. And then the other 99% were the ones who used the police as escorts for funerals and such.
So she said that.
So you were part of the Choice in some kind of way. You were a property.
I grew up with them. They used to come to my house. I used to hang out. Like, I grew up with their kids. Harley used to come to my house and get babysat all the time. He was writing some pretty lewd stuff about the things that happened between us when we were children in prison letters. I think I spoke to you about that just briefly.
You said he fetishized or fantasized the relationship from prison or something like that.
He had been doing some time in Millhaven and Collins Bay at one point, and we were writing back and forth, and he started speaking on the childhood sexual abuse that I had gone through and the things that him and I had been doing from a young age. So now I'm not sure like where you guys are on the whole like prison letters and how they get passed around. And so prison letters get passed around. There's a whole culture to that. But bottom line is police and all the people that are doing the paperwork behind the scenes are reading these things. Those letters aren't going out of a prison without being proofread by a fucking cop. Let's be honest. So Harley's always kind of followed in the same footsteps of his father in that regard, kind of dry snitching in a way.
Whoa.
And in a sense,
Whoa. So then she just called the guy a dry snitch. Whoa. So let's get back to Mike Ball. What you were saying, Mike, you did hold that show down, and I didn't take that as a dig on Hollywood. Hollywood does he does good. He knows what he's doing, but I see he shied away a little bit from people he doesn't know coming on to voice their opinion. And I dig that too. I understand that because you might end up with a person kind of like this. So and biker news is a tough beast. To be honest, in Alberta, the RCMP do not block roads for upset runs and funerals as well as club members. Right. Exactly. The cops don't care about 1%ers, man. They just don't. Yeah, right. She's talking about being a dry snitch in letters from jail about sex. And God knows if you're a guy and you've done anything in the multiples of years, you are going to start talking about sex to someone. It's the way it goes. And he must have felt comfortable enough. So the last one got killed. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else.
Most of us have, really. Like, if I'm going to take accountability for the things that I've said, but I stand on everything I said. That's why I'm sitting here and I'm using my real name. Like I'm not afraid to be who I am, and because I did grow up in this life.
Because later on she gets into something.
So you were saying something about. So I had said, if his father blessed him, then he is the heir apparent. And you had a statement about that. You said no because of the condition that his father's in. So go ahead and elaborate on.
His last time I saw Bernie was probably about 2 years ago. He has late stage dementia. He doesn't remember people's names. He's just a shell of who he was.
I agree with that sentiment, Ghost Eagle. I think maybe back in her day, she might have been the girl that the guys chased, and now she's not. You know what I mean?
And that's why you're not seeing any of the old heads going in there visiting, because nobody really wants to see their president in the shape that he's in and not being able to remember the past. So you can't be giving your blessing on a resurgence or bringing back a motorcycle club when you don't even have your faculties about you, and Harley has stated it many times. He's tried using his father for clout for years and years. He's trying to open a boxing gym, from what I understand. He can't even open a boxing gym and be a trainer because here in Canada, you have to be registered to be a trainer. And he's a convicted felon with like some heavy charges and like the rapier side of life.
What in the hell does that mean? The rapier side of life. And she's talking about Harley here.
Going in there, visiting, because nobody really wants to see their president in the shape that he's in and not being able to remember the past. So you can't be giving your blessing on a resurgence or bringing back a motorcycle club when you don't even have your faculties about you. And Harley has stated it many times. He's tried using his father for clout for years and years. He's trying to open a boxing.
Well, of course he's going to use his dad for clout. It's his dad. And Carney, I agree. I only care one guy in the garden too. And Stefano, just so you know, all these guys, Carney and Claire and Mike, they're all good friends of mine from the other biker news channels from the States. And Mike has one himself. It's called Insane Wheels. If you ever want to go check him out, he's a good man. He doesn't do biker news so much as he keeps up on the geopolitical stuff. Yeah, she's Canadian, Mike. She's 100% Canadian. And yeah, Ghost, they really turned on this chick. Now listen to her say this rapey charge. What a horrible thing.
Jim, from what I understand, he can't even open a boxing gym and be a trainer because here in Canada, you have to be registered to be a trainer. And he's a convicted felon with like some heavy charges and like the rapier side of life.
The rapier side of life. So him and I spoke the other day, and we were talking about some old heavy hitters that we know in the penitentiary system. And these are the real people in the jail. You know what I'm saying? The one guy's staying in there till they carry him out, unfortunately. Hey, Nomad Biker, thanks for joining us, bro. And they're friends of his, right? So if you were in there on anything S related, these guys ain't going to be your buddies.
Are you angry with this man or mad?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm actually heartbroken. Every time I see him act out, it's devastating to see him in the condition that he's in and to see him continuously get worse. His best buddy, cousin Dallas, I went to high school with him. He was a jerk when we were in high school together. He hasn't changed. Like these people that he's surrounding himself with are yes men and standing back from the outside and watching how he's behaving, especially online, is becoming of someone who's high on methamphetamines and just piping off.
I wanted to get to. Now she's calling the guy high on methamphetamines. Like, my God. So he's an artist and he's high on M&Ms.
Get worse. His best buddy, cousin Dallas, I went to high school with him. He was a jerk when we were in high school together. He hasn't changed. Like these people that he's surrounding himself with are yes men and standing back from the outside and watching how he's behaving, especially online, is becoming of someone who's high on methamphetamine.
Isn't that insane? Like, unbelievable. So yeah, you got right in there, Ghost Eagle. You were not down with this interview at all this morning, were you, brother? And this is the thing that people don't understand about the 1%er world. Being a 1%er isn't about declaring I'm putting it on your skin and I got it on my skin, you know what I mean, and all that stuff. It's not about declaring yourself a criminal. You don't jive with society's rules, so you're in another world that you do jive with the rules, and it's stand up, be a man, and handle your business. And that's the only difference between a 1%er and 99%ers or the RCs or the people that don't ride motorcycles at all. Kind of roller coaster. Did you find some of those mushrooms, bro?
Okay. And just piping off. Because if you were really about the life, if you were really about being a thug, if you were really about being a gangster, you wouldn't be talking about it online. You'd be handling business in person. And why did you leave the club and not handle business in person when the issues were coming about?
So yeah, like I was talking with that fella Jay. He did leave the club. He left the club to take care of his dad. And when he went to return, his story is 2 guys blocked his return, and they won't have a fist to fist with him. So this is the way he's going to try to get him out to do this. I can't believe BD even had this lady on his show. It's a bad look for BD, Lavish and Logic, people that are not 1%ers or outlaws. You got that one, War. Is that War Gorilla, bro? Good to see you again, brother. I think that is you, isn't it? So she's somebody that was around Mike since they were kids. She grew up with him. Her dad was also in the club, or her godfather, or both. And now she thought that she should come up here and discuss old secrets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Stefano, you're in the right part of the world for finding them out in the woods. And they were free. Yeah, Carney, it's the same one. It's the same one. I'm going to shut her down here in a minute. I just wanted to put this out there because, you know, and I'm not laying nothing. All right, brother. Good to see you, War. Good to see you, my bro. I'm so happy to know that you came along and you're still watching. That makes me that makes me happy, man. Yeah, so I just wanted to put it out there because, well, number one, Harley hadn't seen it, so I sent it to him while it was still live, so he could watch it. Unfortunately, she was off the screen by the time him and I connected, and I got it to him live. And but you know, obviously, he knows how to rewind, and he knows how to check it out. What he told me was his mom had punched her out at some time in her life, which she says later on in the interview is they used to have an intimate relationship, and we all, you know, and then Dragon just kind of poo-pooed her when he kind of understood. Hey, Peterborough, Chad, thanks for coming along. There was issues with this. I think so, bro. I think there's going to be issues with this. That's why I'm trying to get him on for an interview. He can sit down with me and Dragon. We'll ask him the questions. I'll ask him the questions I know the 1%ers want to know. And he'll answer what he can answer because it's a 1%er world. You can't put everything out there on blast. And we'll get this whole thing, you know, tidied up and figured out. And if he's going to start Satan's Choice, which apparently he has, then that's not up to us to say whether he's allowed to or not. You know what I mean? That'll be in somebody else's realm, not mine. I just want to get it out there so people are aware what's happening. It was an iconic club. It really was an iconic club. Any 1%er in Ontario has some sort of connection to the Satan's Choice if you're around my age or older. The newer guys, anyone that's joined the club after 2000, that's when they patched over to the HA. Won't even have really an idea who the hell the Satan's Choice were. And Oshawa was their main chapter. Bernie was their main man. And Harley is Bernie's son. So those are the things that, you know, make some sort of difference in this whole thing. I might give her a listen through here a little bit more. But yeah, that's about it.
He's made over the years.
That volume coming
He's
through.
been under the radar and under the watchful eye for many years. And unfortunately, it's just, you know, him having the tattooed gladiator on his back is very fitting. It's because it's like watching the Roman Empire fall.
So apparently when he was down below, that's what we call the penitentiary up here in Canada, he was a beefer. And he went, what did she just say, 41-0 or something like that? And it's tattooed. It is tattooed on his back. You can see that tattoo in one of his videos. I've been doing good, just surviving on my post-6 next level biker life. Good for you, War. I love to hear that, bro. What happened with that video that you showed with that lady getting almost clunked and you guys getting drawn down on and all that? Was that you, or did you just find that video? Here she said that he is saying things online. Here she's bringing out the dirty laundry of the club. She's not a part of it. Exactly, Ghost. Yeah, I can tell you, Ghost, you're all about the 1% life because it's upsetting you just watching it again, bro. Days called training, we're going to start a club. So, well, exactly, right? Look, like I said to Dragon the other day, that Miklo guy started a club out of nothing, and they're still around. There's still a club. You can't tell somebody in this day and age you can't do that because, you know, if you tell me that, I say, fuck you, watch this. The kissing, well, it's not that bad, bro. Yeah, we're definitely not going to go into when Grant raised in Guelph, born in the 60s. Remember his 10-year-old, the police escorting the Choice through Guelph. The Choice annual Not Giant Fest was a good time. So there, I stand corrected. Thanks for that, William. You know, I'll never be mad about someone correcting me. And I appreciate that. You're letting us know that. So sometimes the cops did give the Choice an escort on their runs. I guess it, you know, maybe it depends on the municipality or whatever. But thank you for that, William. I appreciate that insight.
It really is. Watching a gladiator just get decimated in a ring, and it's very sad. I think he needs a rehab facility, and if there was ever one that I would suggest, it would be the Sacred Rebel Rehab.
She's actually naming rehab facilities that she thinks the man should go to. Thank you, Carney. Like and subscribe indeed. Okay, so that wasn't you. It was a video that you found. Okay, thanks, bro. Because that one always interested me. I was thinking, geez, our brother War got drawn down on, and nobody really said too much about that, man. Ghost Eagle, I would not F her with a hunter's dick. She is nasty. So
and BC, because those gentlemen are all like-minded, and it's pure support and pure lead. So they've been through what he's doing and gone through, and
we used to have a saying when I was in the club Peterborough, Chad, was we talking about somebody that we knew wasn't solid. When we describe him as 1 slap to get him talking and 10 slaps to shut him up. So, and yeah, I think that probably would apply here. As kids, we've seen the cruiser followed by a shitload of bikes that came through Guelph to pass by the OR on the way to Oshawa. Right on, bro. And then see if they were doing a charity run, then the cops might be a little more inclined to help them. That would be my thing. But again, I don't know. It could have just been because they wanted to in Guelph. And thank you, Carney, for dropping in, bro. I appreciate you. And like I said, I don't know how much more of this.
Come out the other side better people. And I think that's the only way that we're going to see him do anything positive for him and his community.
Let me ask a question.
Lavish looks like his head's going to explode.
With you coming on and letting us hear this, are you thinking that he needs, are you hoping that he gets help? You're saying that he needs help?
I think he needs an intervention. I think he needs people that love him to actually come forward and say, okay, this isn't how you should be doing it. He's lost everything from his house, his beautiful fiance. Apparently she's not a beautiful person. There was talks about.
So again, she's getting into his personal life. In his videos, he shows himself at a nice house with a big pool in the backyard with his child and with a woman. She seems like type of pillow talk where she is banging a brother and talking to the cops. going into detail of what he was doing. Exactly. Like, what's he doing talking about he's lost his house and he can't be a boxing instructor? You don't have to be a licensed boxing instructor to own a boxing gym. You hire the guy. Like, there's lots of workarounds. The cops can cooperate, dickheads. That's been my experience with every guy who's in the force, bro. He's a big buck. Would you imagine that, Stefano? A whole bunch of bikers. We did that when I was in England, and we were on those little fucking things from Amsterdam. Holy moly! All I saw was bikers floating in and out of the fog in this bar. Oh my god! I sat in one spot for 4 hours and didn't move and sweated.
About she's a nurse. She was real pretty, like everything creme de la creme. So he was getting everything that he wanted, and he just his ego got the better of him, and now he's lost everything that he got.
So so there's a lot of personalness in this. I a lot of personal, like, seems feelings. Like, I can't help but feel like maybe you're jilted or something in some kind of way. I don't want to attack you, but
no, not at all. Not at all. I'm living my own life. I've got my own things that I'm doing. I've got a beautiful garden. I've got beautiful children. I've got a great life, but seeing somebody continue to go down the path of destruction that they're going down.
Yeah.
I mean, he can think I'm jilted all he wants, but really, I'm just sad to see him,
why do you
acting the way he is.
Why do you care about the path that he's going down? Why are you sad about that?
Well, because he represents our community. He wants to represent our community. He's trying to be a figurehead in our community. He's trying to bring back a motorcycle.
That's what I think, Mike. She doesn't have a good life of her own, so she wants to police what everyone else is doing in their lives. Maybe you knew the man 20 years ago. It doesn't mean you know who he is now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that people change. My God, figure that out. People do change, and a lot of times it's for the better. And she knows she doesn't have to lie to kick it. Exactly, bro, man.
Cycle club from my town, my community.
Mm-hmm.
He's running around saying that he runs it. He don't run nothing.
That one of his videos. I run Oshawa.
All right, so
I mean, he started running his mouth saying that he was running things, and a week later, there was literally a shooting across the street from his place of business.
So
listen,
hold on.
Okay, Harley.
Black Dragon. Can I
Who's this?
Can I share what's on my mind
That's
right
lavish.
Oh
yeah, share what's on your mind right now.
So this is because I didn't listen and I didn't heard a lot.
Thank you, B, for dropping in on the video, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, like I say, after Lavish here spouts off on her pretty hard. And War, you're absolutely correct. It's not really Dragon's thing usually. And he about here from the rest of the video, he's trying to get rid of her politely. You know what I'm saying? But B, thank you for dropping in and checking out the video. I do try to come live every night. Usually I just do soft stuff, tell you where the bike nights are and the charity events. But this one caught my eye, so I thought, what the hell, we'll pick up on it. It's Canadian. It's biker news. And we'll check it out.
And I just sat back and I've, been just listening. This is just me. I don't want to offend nobody. I really don't. I don't know how people would take it. I only can be me. So I'm only speaking on behalf of Lavish. So, that's it. It's no shots. It's just me. As a man.
Good night, Sleeping Joe.
Motorcycle club.
Thanks for popping in.
A member of a motorcycle club. No offense to any women out there. Because there's some great women out there. I don't want to.
After this,
I don't want to listen to a woman.
Get a few more licks in on the girl.
Tell me anything about a man's problem.
Politely.
I'm not here to offend the lady for talking any of that stuff. I'm listening to everything that was being said. as a guy in a motorcycle club, listen, what are you telling me all of this for? It's not my business. Sounds like you got some personal problems.
It's all the stuff we've already said in the chat.
You telling me about this guy in this motorcycle club. I'm looking at it. I'm hearing it. I'm listening.
Your baby daddy?
But
baby daddy?
It's like I'm indirectly putting his business out there. I'm taunting him. If I'm about that life, if you're about that life, you wouldn't be on the internet, blah, blah, blah. That's adding fuel to some fire. You don't, I mean, I'm only speaking. I don't even know the guy. I don't know nothing about this lady. But me, I'm sitting on the sideline. And if I'm listening to somebody tell me that I ain't about this life, because I wouldn't be on the internet, I'm thinking, you know what? You're right. Let me pull up on you real quick so I can show you about how much I'm about this life. Since you say I was on the internet, let me just show you in real life how much about this life that I am.
He's talking the truth.
I'm listening about his girlfriend. I don't know anything about this guy's wife, girlfriend, what he's losing. It's like I'm getting these little pokes, these little jabs, these little things. And I'm a guy. I'm a whole man in a motorcycle club. And, you know, people are people. Men, women, I don't treat them different. But it is a certain limit that I put at when it comes down to a lady, a woman talking to a man in a motorcycle club about another man. I just ain't really trying to hear that shit, man. I really ain't, man. It's like too much gossip type of shit, man. And that's just coming from the way that's how I feel about it, man. You know, it's too much. It's like some gossip.
K. Wayne loves getting on Lavish, doesn't he? So Lavish is running to become it's an elected position to become a police commissioner, and he's out front and he's open about it. But also keep in mind, Lavish is not in a 1% motorcycle club, to my knowledge. To my knowledge, right? You know what I mean? But I like the guy. I like what because
shit like guys sitting around listening to a woman say, yeah, it is. And we don't know anything about this dude. Then he gets judgmental. Then you get these sucker dudes out there that listen to a woman and hear just one side of the story. And that's just how I feel about it. I mean,
I thought I was right on that.
Listen, like, man, I'm really tired of hearing that shit, man, about this guy. Let this guy be great. If that's the way he's fitting, did you ever call the guy to ask, hey, what's going on in his life? How you doing? You got any problems? I see you losing your shit. I mean, how can I help you? How can I be of assistance to you? If I care about you that much, why the fuck I'm on a podcast dogging the shit out of you indirectly? I mean, but that's just the way that I'm taking it and I see it. I'm not speaking for nobody else. I'm just being a realist within myself.
Okay. So I guess I'll start by saying the reason that I'm coming on this podcast is because.
So I think basically he was telling her to shut TFU. Yeah.
He had the audacity to speak about my sexual abuse that I went through as a child on his Facebook. And not just on his private account, but also
and he is gonna
on his business page. So when we're talking about gossip and drama, I'd like to just reel it back a little to bring the fact that he himself is creating the gossip and drama by bringing up the sexual abuse of a female. So if you don't want to hear me speak about men's things, I also don't want to hear you speak about women's things. So as a woman, I will speak up about how he's speaking about my trauma and the things that I went through online to his people. And they're going around shooting their mouths off. Now, I haven't had anybody knock on my door. I'm outside every day. I have a beautiful garden, like I've said, and I have no problem throwing hands on a man or a fucking woman if they want to approach me. Under no circumstance do I have any fear of Harley, nor have I ever. Up until about 2 years ago.
That's a pretty good point, isn't it, Blair? Who did that to her? She was that close to the most dangerous men in the city. So that's a good point.
Oh, I was fucking around with him. I was going and seeing him on the.
There, she was with him. So maybe this all comes down to that. And the victim mentality, good point, B. You know what I mean? That's what I like about working off the chat. You guys know what you're talking about. That's by doorknobs.
Regular basis. I was one of those people who would go in and walk behind the counter without announcing myself to anybody because I was one of the ones. So when we discuss these matters, it's not me coming out on here trying to out him, but when he wants to out other people online, he's going to get it back. And unfortunately, he's got a lot more skeletons in his closet than I have in mine.
Sounds like
and I have absolutely
rattling around off.
Tat, he did this. Let me go on.
Oh, absolutely.
Podcast that got all these things because I want to tell, not share a story because I want to help him. I want to tell more stuff about him.
You are correct, family, bro, Chad.
Wife, my sexual abuse. I just feel like it's all some bullshit, if you ask me, man.
He did.
And I mean, I can't fake the shit because if it was in front of me in my clubhouse right now, I wouldn't even hear that shit from a woman. Go talk to that man about that shit. That's not my problem.
Well, I mean, it's crazy because it's coming from a man.
Put in the world.
Okay.
But the crazy thing is it's coming from a man online who's running his mouth about two other men online. Flipping off a bike gang, doing all those things.
It's like it's still more.
So there she is again. She's talking like she was all close, but she slips out the word bike gang. If you're all close, you know you never call a 1% club a gang. If you're as close as you say to be. And War, and yeah, he's So this is what all the older school people are saying is you can't go online and do all that shit and then say you're righteous. And his response is, and again, I'm not taking sides, is that he's tried to get him out, like without going online, get him out and get him up or do whatever, and they won't come. So he's going to be relentless until they do. So, and again, this is just going off of what I've seen on. I started following.
He's doing this,
right?
He's doing this. He's doing this. Who was this guy to you again?
I thought we established who he was.
A childhood friend.
No, I'm saying, who is this guy? Childhood friend. This guy fucked you before? Let's be honest. Have y'all had sexual relationships?
All right.
Have you had feelings?
As a matter of fact, we were having sexual relations for a long time, since we were 8.
We were having sexual relations since we were 8. What is she talking about? That just fried my tomatoes. She acts like she is a diamond and part of, oh shit, where did you go? And part of the club of Jada Skirt is the downfall of any club. You're absolutely 100% on that one, Ghost Eagle, bro.
You can read all about them in his prison letters that he was writing all about.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I have nothing to hide.
You can't let Lavin go too far, right?
Okay.
Right?
No, it's okay. Let him go. Let him go.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no. Let's not let. Stop.
Let's not let.
Right, Kevin?
I'm so
Right?
hurt.
And she's talking about being a dry.
I'm not hurt. I'm just sad for him, and I think he needs rehab.
By embarrassing him.
He's doing that on his own. I don't need to do it for him.
All right. So what we'll do now is move on to.
So Dragonflies. Okay, we got that.
I feel like
to the next story.
I just feel like we could have had more important stuff to talk about than hearing somebody's personal problems, man. Like, I feel like this is a counseling session for someone to vent. That we have really.
100%, I agree with that, War. You don't announce your intentions when the guy's as dangerous as or anyone is. If you're going to do something and there's danger involved, you don't announce to the whole world, I'm going to do it Tuesday at 8:00. Be there. You just get it done and never talk about it again. At least that was always my MO. Do what you got to do and don't talk about it again. Yeah, she's not hurt. She's confused and devastated. You're right. And who came in there and said lifelong obsession? I 100% agree. I'm just going to play out the last couple of minutes of it.
Well, this is not the first counseling session we've had.
Well, we had.
Yeah, we interview people all the time, and some of them are, that's what we do. People come on and we interview them.
But this is like, hey, I want to dig, I want to dag, I want to talk about his wife, his girlfriend, he losing shit, he this. It's like shit, a bash session. We holding a bash session. A bunch of men listening to a woman talk about some outlaw biker or a biker in general. I mean, I'm just not with it. That's just me. I mean, like I said at the beginning,
after he's lost all these things.
Yeah, we will, Mike.
After he's lost all these things, where are the men that are holding him accountable? Where are the men who are helping him? There aren't. There are men out there just letting him do what he's doing. And it's not safe for the streets. That's the problem. It's not safe for the people. Pardon me?
He done broke up.
he's broken up.
That is wonderful.
Well, I'm so sorry.
The best.
Listen.
I appreciate all your comments, man. $10 to you.
Hold on a second, Lavish. You breaking up, sir.
Get in a good area, Lavish.
He's working. You know, Lavish working. You know.
Okay, what did you just say, man? Say it again.
Go ahead, Lavish.
I said he got to hold himself accountable. He a whole grown man.
He's not acting like a man.
All right.
That's the problem.
A lot of men that's childish.
All right. Okay. So we're not going to. Okay. We're back and forth now. So listen.
Okay.
So did you say what you wanted to say? You got, did you get your message out?
You know what?
Yeah,
honestly, I think.
My baby break up. So, but I just had to share it. I only could take so much, man.
No, we weren't asking you. We weren't asking you that. We know you shared what you want to share.
All right, I'm done. I'm silent. I'm working. I'm about to hook the car up.
Yeah, hook the car up.
Don't go nowhere, though, Lavish. Don't go nowhere.
I ain't going nowhere. I still
okay. Here. Yeah, hook a car.
You're right, Claire. This could be me.
Lord, okay. Did you say what you needed to say? Did you make your point?
Yeah, I think the bottom line, really all I wanted to get at was that there's a lot of people that are being yes men for him when people need to be holding him accountable for his actions and the way that he's currently behaving online. And I think that his best option would be to go to somewhere like Sacred Rebels Recovery, where he could get the help and assistance that he needs.
Yeah. Okay.
So that he can get the healing so that he doesn't fly off the handle
great idea,
and
isn't it, Mike?
End up making himself look bad on the internet and discuss other people's business.
Okay. I want to say that I am absolutely devastated to hear about your tragedies, especially.
No, and you know what? I've worked through that. And that's why I'm not bothered about talking about it, because I've already healed from those things and they've made me who I am today. So please don't feel sorry for me, because I've already dealt with all that and I don't have any issues with it. What I do have an issue with is the next generation of girls that are going to get involved with someone who is unhealthy and unhealed, and someone who is behaving in the way that he's behaving as a woman.
Yes.
Speaking from the perspective as a woman, that's not safe for the streets. And I don't think any one of you men is looking to make the streets unsafe for women. I think you're all looking to make it a safer place for women. So when we have situations like that, it needs to be addressed.
Okay. But yes, I'm so sorry that you went through that.
That's okay. You don't have to be.
It's all good. It makes me angry to even hear about something like that. But anyway, thank you so much for coming on the show. And thank you for sending me all of that information about my health. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries. I wish you all the very best, and I hope you continue to do good. It was nice to meet you, Logic. I hope you have a great day.
You do the same.
It was nice to meet you.
Bye, Lavish. I appreciate it.
So what interview this morning, and we saw Black Dragon. He's a gentleman. He's you got that right, Bruce. She had that fucking voice, didn't she? She had that octave in her voice that you don't want to hear that too long every day, man. Whoo, buddy. You wouldn't want nothing to do with that if you had to hear that all day, bro. So wasn't that was the morning, and that was on top of your show, Mike. So you guys were playing at the same time. She's more in line for helping the sheets. And she really got up Ghost Eagle's craw, man. He is soft, bro. You're right. He is soft sometimes, but he tries to be a gentleman. Is all I'm saying about it, right? He tries to be a gentleman. And like this guy, he's not stopping with his videos, man. He's got a whole rack of support gear there that he's willing to blow out at discount prices. Like he's not stopping. And she talked about that gladiator tattoo, and it shows it, I think, on this video here.
Jeremy Brown, Shaw Robinson Sr., Hells Angels Brooklyn, pair of unbecoming goofs, called you all on a week ago, and it was all over the... Jeremy Brown, Shaw Robinson Sr., Hells Angels Brooklyn, pair of unbecoming goofs, called you all on a week ago, and it was all over the internet, and I am going to continue to make noise until you come and meet me on my fucking lawn so I can bang both you guys out at the same time like the 1960s. You're both a pair of fucking...
So you imagine, so this is, he's not going to stop, and he's not going to relent. Ghost Eagle, you jump through the thing and smack him on down, bro. And thank you, Bruce, also for coming along. Yeah, that was bad, eh? She does got her, and she reminds me, yeah, it's 81 support gear, bro, because he did come from that club. Here, let me play the video.
I have boxes of this stuff, boxes of other calendars. I have a bunch of support gear. I'm expecting one of you guys to come and buy this off me, so I don't have to do something crazy with it. So come on, Brooklyn. Maybe if you have any money, you can come drop me off here. You can take it all for $1,500. All right. See you guys.
So yeah, he is not relenting at all. Came across channel recently, great can, no bullshit, watching from the hammer. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate you, brother. I really do. And usually I don't get political, but this one really caught my attention, right? And if you're from Hamilton, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So he left the club, and they never came to his clothing store and took back their support gear, bro. I don't understand. But he's and that's, I think, what a lot of people are going to say. Thank you for welcoming, Ghost. Thank you, bro. And like I say, thank you, War. I appreciate you coming on, brother. Always a pleasure. And come back anytime, man. I always like to see you in the chat. If he ain't in the club, he has no right to sell it. Yeah, so why is he still on racks? Like, there's some weird parts of this story. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I say, Bruce, I tend not to get political like this, but it is what it is. And that's it, Mike. And that's why he's got a few people a little bit annoyed with him, bro. He really does. And again, and if you look at this video at the front of his tummy there, that's when he was in the club, right? That is what it is. So it's kind of weird that, and in a lot of his videos, he comes out and says, I'm not disrespecting the whole club, but we all know that the whole club is offended anyway, whether you're not disrespecting them, or that's not your intention or whatever. It doesn't matter. So that's where, he posted that interview off of Black Dragon. Tasha Lavender. So they had a Lavish and they had a Lavender on. Yeah, so that's where I want to show this video too that he put up.
I make them lock in and focus.
At least he's out there on his
Way too much hands on my collar. Hold some mints in for $1. She just keep sucking. Head is so good, she a scholar. Rollie on President Obama. I am a stoner. Pockets on Ozzy O'Donnell. Loyalty just for the honor.
Fuck you, yeah.
Boom, nice guy. Fuck niggas learn I expose them. I am the one who's chosen. Fuck your devotion. I make them stir up commotion. I make them lock in
Won't let me
close.
put
Bitch,
that
I'm a
on
problem. Way too much
You're
shit
right.
on my collar. Hosting missing for $1. She just keep sucking.
Right.
Head is so
We know
good,
what
she a
fucking
scholar.
shit, man.
Rollie on President Obama. I am a stoner. Pockets on.
You know, it's anyway. I'm gonna get Harley here on for an interview. I swear I am. Working over 30 years ago, and I realized only people that want to belong to some, but never will. And a lot of times, but see, a good motorcycle club, and this is coming from years of talking to guys. A good motorcycle club will have good supporters that don't want to be in the club, but they're loyal to the club, and they're good people to have around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and see, I don't know the gang life, so I don't know, what's got one more honor or not. For gang life, becoming a national, there's more code follow. It seems like clubs lack discipline, and again, that just depends on where you are. Sometimes geographically, how much they actually listen to the rules that were set in another country from what seems like 100 years ago. Support bro. Hey, Joe Bloods, good to see you, bro. Thanks for dropping in on us. Unfortunately, he came in near the end, but thank you for coming. I might do a quick rundown of the Wednesday night bike rides. We try to think about their supporters. We'll back them. Exactly, right? So the more stuff you say about them, there's going to be more people saying stuff against you, and it kind of works against you. Besides, you don't do that stuff online. It's just my opinion. I don't pick fights online. I don't pick fights. I wear sport gear also in 10 events. Yeah, but join in just for me, and they respect that. See, that's what I'm saying, Bruce. And they got to have good supporters like you and around their clubs to make things happen, to get things done. And there's sometimes that you don't want a man who's a part of the club doing something, opening a business, whatever, right? So I said, our brotherhood has no power like it used to. Less law enforcement nowadays, or less code enforcement nowadays. You're right, B. That's kind of what I see, and I hear stories like his. The people that are out now, they're out on the bad standing. They don't know why, and you know what I mean. So, thank you, Biker News. I was hoping I wasn't too late. Yeah, we just got done going over Black Dragon's interview from this morning. I put my 2 cents on it. Thanks you, Todd J, for coming in and joining us tonight, bro. It's always a pleasure to see you, Todd. I love to see you, bro. I hope things are well down there in PEI. I heard there's some crazy stuff going on your island over the weekend, some shootings and stuff. I've been pulled over just wearing sport gear just to hassle me, FMBS. So when I was a supporter for the club I ended up joining, the cops knew I was going to join, and they would pull me over all the time and give me thousands of dollars worth of tickets to try to dissuade me from patching in. But I did anyways, of course. I don't pick fights either. They picked me. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate your kind words, brother. It's always a pleasure, and it's great to see you guys lively in the chat, man. You guys made that video 100 times better by being there and us having dialogue back and forth in the chat. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. Got a 3 miles an hour speeding ticket. Why can't I get some of these comments to show up? That's so weird. A 3 mile an hour ticket over just because of your patch. Exactly. I had the cops, they pulled me over. Now this is when I was patching the club and stuff. I put like some straight pipes on a stroker motor, and it was loud. It was obnoxious. And they pulled me over every week and gave me an unnecessary noise violation at $100 a pop. And I would laugh at them, say, yeah. And then once we got up to about $1,000 or so, I relented and put some 2-in-1 headers on. And the funniest part is it made the bike run better anyway. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, right? And see, I'm just going to show something real quick. He's never taken down stuff off of his page or anything. He's got pictures of what he was in the HA, right? So there it is right there. So he's never shied away from where he's come from and stuff. It's just the way he's doing it in this day and age. A lot of people ain't with it. Hit the like button. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, Bruce. I really do. Building silence when it's time to unite. We have the power of numbers, not mad by people. You got it. I think so, bro. We're all gonna have to unite soon. Larry took a picture out and won. Good for you, bro. I'm trying to get a ticket reopened for running a red light camera, and when the picture's taken, my front tire's on the last white line. And I missed the court date, but the lady at the courthouse today says she'll reopen it for me. Hated my Mustang, my Civic will get me pulled over. Yeah, a lot of times they pick on you for the car. Back in the titty bar days, you know I was in the titty bars them days. Someone had to keep them girls working all night, brother. I was pulling one street and a chick will drive me. So, Ghost, you got the best liners, man. Times are changing and fast. New age communication is going to stir pots. You're right about that, B. Right about that. Hey, Newfoundland Throttle and Dirt. Thanks for coming in. What's an RD, bro? Tell me what an RD is. I'm not sure what that is. It used to be a safe place until the system took the parents' rights away to punish our kids. Well, that's kind of universal, isn't it? No, I thought I saw in the news somewhere that there was an incident on PEI Island. They had some people sheltering in place and stuff. 35 years of riding, pulled over lots, no bike license. They can't tell me to ride safe. Local RCMP are cool out here. Wow. Huh. That's wild, eh? What else we got? I got pulled over the day after I brought my car here. You let me go though. Yeah, I was wondering if you were gonna get the redneck coppers when you change states. What you doing around here, son, with the big mirror sunglasses, you know? What you know, there's nothing but steers and queers or whatever they see, you know what I mean? What's up, Biking? Oh, radar detector. You got it, brother. Thank you. Yeah. And see, I always I kind of did away with my radar detectors and stuff over the years. I thought that they stopped working for us or something like that. So I said, whatever. But yeah, man, it's going to be an interesting thing. I really hope I get Harley on here for an interview. It'll be a wicked good interview. And we can hear it right from the horse's mouth. Oh, they do still work. Okay, I thought that they stopped working. They went digital or some bullshit. Shows what I know, right? Can't even keep myself out of trouble, bro. I want to get a bike again so bad. Me too, Joe. Like, I'm talking so bad I can fuck her unless you get a LiDAR radar. Okay, is that the digital ones, maybe? So I think I kind of want to end this show in particular on this. I've been on for over an hour, and it was a good show. So like I say, if I can get Harley in for an interview, I will do so. And oh, I see. And then I'll leave the chat open if he's good with that, and people can ask him their questions, right? Because I think that people got a lot of questions out there. Thanks, Ghost, for being welcoming. Yeah, that was, because Mike moved from he moved into what I consider, being from Canada, a redneck state. It's probably not one, but I thought it wasn't. And the guy with the southern draw and the toothpick out of his mouth and the big mirror sunglasses and the crazy hat. Wow, Mike, thank you. Wow, I did, eh? That was a good show. I'm glad I stuck to that one. Beautiful. War, you might be right. Or Glare, whoever said that, you might be right. I might have found my niche. Everyone's got to have a niche. That's what I was saying, right, Claire? That's what I was picturing. And poor Mike rolling in with his California license plates. They'd be like, woo, woo, there's a victim for us. But I'm glad he let you go, brother. So we got another 100 out of this one. Good for me, man. I'm so happy about that. And I want to thank everyone who does come in and watch and like and share and subscribe and all that. I appreciate it more. I've been working away at this channel for about a year. And for the last few months, I felt very comfortable. and feeling like I'm getting to know what I'm doing. I got to get a little better on the technical side, but it's growing, and I couldn't thank everybody enough. How is it riding out there in Newfoundland? And a bigger question, what's happening with the fires out there? All you guys from the States, man, Canada's on fire up here, dudes. We got wildfires from coast to coast to coast. It's generally north of where the population is, man. But man, we're on fire, bro. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you saying that, bro. Stop it, Indiana. Right on, Carney. We got rid of the crazy girl. I had to get up with that. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate that, brother. I'm gonna keep working my hardest at this. I want to make this a big biker community, not full of bullshit, not too much of that drama stuff. You know what I mean? If it's in the news, I'm gonna report on it. I'm not gonna dig things up. I'm not gonna talk shit about nobody. It's not my style. It's bad, buddy. We got no rain in forever, and the fires are raging. That sucks, bro. I hope you're safe out there, man. Yeah, absolutely. Apparently, we got a fire only a couple hours north of Toronto in the Kawarthas, man. And all of our beautiful forests are turning into charcoal. I hate that shit, man. Thank you, Claire. I appreciate you, brother. And I'll see you again soon. Yeah, man. We're on fire up here. And Steve. Good to see you, Steve. I haven't talked to you in years, bro. I didn't know you were part of this group. I appreciate you very much for being here. Steve and I go way back. That's cool, man. So it's growing. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I think I'm going to leave it off right there and say goodnight to everyone. So thanks again, guys. The chat was fucking phenomenal. You guys are the best, man. I mean it. You guys are the best. And so do I, Joe. We need some rain up here like bad, bro. We need some rain up here bad. Stopped smoking so bad in New York last year. Wow. It's horrible. And we're going to keep it going. Havelock is listening right on. Is Havelock on fire too, Steve? It's got to be close to you, eh? Thank you, Newfoundland. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate you also. And thank you again, Stefano. And yeah, and I'm working towards that, bro. I'm always moving forward, man. It's just for me, it's always budget and whatever it is. I'll do it though, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate you. I'm sorry to hear that, Steve. I hope you guys are going to be safe up there, bro. I really do. You also did a great job keeping up on the chat. A lot of YouTubers really lack on that. Thanks, Mike. I like the chat. I think I can do shows just me talking to the chat, but it might get boring to watch. That's why I want to figure out how to merge these into podcasts so that it's just not my head sitting here. But again, I'm trying to get out of here anyways. But anyways, thank you, everybody, man. I love you all. Much respect to everybody. And I'll be back tomorrow. I didn't end up doing Wednesday's rides. I might come back later tonight and chuck that one up there real quick. In case you're from Canada and you want to know where our bike nights are, that's what I do on a nightly basis for the most part. All right, everyone, good night. Be safe out there and much love, man. Much love. Thank you, Karn. Good night.